Hello and welcome to the John Ark Show. Today's show is called The Silent Panic Has Begun. Before we begin, I want to encourage you to subscribe to our channel for free. You can also like, comment, and follow us. We're going to have a lot of great celebrity interviews coming up, so make sure to click on that notification bell so you can be notified every time we upload a new episode. Also, we ask that you post a link to today's show on all your social media to help spread the word. Now, let's get started. Throughout history, whenever people observed or sensed a very serious problem or life-threatening situation, then they would react. If it was life-threatening, then people would often panic. They would call for help or run for help. They would reach out to the authorities and plead for help. They would complain loudly or they would protest. In fact, the worse the problem, the louder the protests would become. Now, make no mistake, things are getting much worse, and the rate and scope and scale of the problems is getting very severe out there. But for some reason, we're not seeing people panicking and protesting as much as society would expect them to in the past. Where is the public response to all the things going wrong now? It appears to us to be a very muted response. So we looked into this and studied it to find out why so little response is visible to the public, to any of this stuff. And I'll tell you what we found, and it surprised even us. The response is there, but it is a silent panic, a silent response. People are responding to what they see and feel, but they're doing it silently and in a very stealthy manner. Let's begin with the financial world. People are paying their bills later and later now out of simple necessity or out of payment exhaustion. But the result is a sort of silent protest that can be interpreted as a silent protest when you're not paying your bills. They either don't have the money or they're prioritizing it on other things. That's why so many streaming companies are in trouble and are contemplating bankruptcy. As it turns out, people don't think that the streaming apps are a huge necessity given how many of them show the same crappy movies over and over and over, all while they're raising their rates every few months. Do you know where else the silent panic has begun? It's begun in the real estate sector. We just heard that almost half of the people who've moved to Florida are making preparations to move out. They're finding it harder and harder to sell their homes. Why is that? Because of rising interest rates and the explosion in insurance costs. Some homeowners say that property insurance costs have already increased by 50 to 60% for them in Florida. And if you own a condo, then you're in serious trouble. Why? Because the state of Florida is mandating that condo associations top off and fill their reserve bank accounts so that if there is a problem, then the condo will have enough money to address it. Do you know what another problem with Florida is? Buyers underestimated the severity of the heat. Many say it's like living in a sauna. It's almost unbearable. And they say that when you call the air conditioning repairman, their answer to everything is to try and pressure sell you a new air conditioner rather than try and fix your existing air conditioning unit. That's their big push. So people are silently moving out of Florida in very large numbers. Same thing with the massive silent exodus out of California and Austin, Texas. This is being caused by rising prices and the collapse of public services and the absence of police protection. People who moved out of California and went to Austin, Texas now say that Austin is even crazier than California ever was. And do you know why that is? Because the crazy people who voted for the crazy rules, regulations, and laws in California moved to Austin, Texas, and repeated that process. They tried to implement more crazy police defunding policies and other insane rules and regulations. And now Austin has become just like California, only perhaps crazier. And their homeless and drug problem is even worse in Austin. Some people are silently moving out of Austin. Now that's not the problem in the rest of Texas. Areas outside of Austin, people love Texas and the sanity of their laws, their regulations, and the behavior of the people there. Austin has essentially become a more mentally ill anti-police version of Los Angeles. Next, look at the educational system. There's now a silent panic by parents to get their kids out of the insane educational system. They don't want the crazy teachers sexually or politically indoctrinating their children. And that is all the schools appear to be interested in doing these days. Math is not a priority. Science is not a priority. History is not a priority. The crazy teachers are just hyper-focused on the sexuality of their young students and how they can get them to change their gender. Now, look at the silent panic going on in the banking system and the stock market. People are getting out of it because of that. Banks are closing locations every month to make it more challenging for customers to find a bank that will give them their money. Now, some lunatic banks are asking customers to fill out forms explaining why they want to withdraw their money. And if they still want your cash, then you'll have to make an appointment for a week or two in the future in order to come back and withdraw your money. This silent panic amongst customers unable to access the funds they have in their banks or their financial institutions is getting worse every month. People are spreading the word and talking to one another in person and online to explain how their banks are abusing them. Have you seen the silent panic in the electric vehicle industry? There are a lot of EV customers out there who experience their first year of winter driving in their new EV, and they see that it loses half its power and half its range in cold weather. Or it just bursts into flames in the summer, and then the only thing they care about is how quickly can they sell what's left of their EV and buy another gas-powered car. These silent panics are growing and they're increasing in a number of industries. I believe we're fast approaching the point where these silent panics won't be so silent much longer. Thank you for watching. I want to encourage you to subscribe to our channel for free. You can also like, comment, and follow us. We're going to have a lot of great celebrity interviews coming up, so make sure to click on the notification bell so you can be notified every time we upload a new episode. Also, we ask that you post a link to today's show on all your social media to help spread the word about the show. Thank you, and we shall talk to you soon. Bye-bye.